Still looks like a nice crowd on hand today.
I know, always good to see the Boulder fans showing up despite a little bit of a snow day. You've got a 10th ranked team in the house. You're going to represent.
Up in the air, and it will belong to the Wildcats to start. Going to be a different look out of the gate with Lee on the bench. They roll the perimeter game so fluidly. We'll see in this first possession how it comes into play. Foreman on Walker, pulls up for the jumper. A miss there off the iron and an offensive board.
As I say, we talked about those rebound opportunities. You have got to get a body on somebody. Jade Masogayo just out-hustled for that rebound.
Long shot for Poindexter. Missing there and a hustle for the board. It does go to the Buffs as Frida Foreman gets it up to Weddle. It'll be back in Foreman's hands, and she charges to the basket right away off the glass. A 2-0 lead for the Buffs to begin.
Love the aggressive take by Frida Foreman. And again, the Buffs are no strangers to just playing some hard-nosed defense. It just hasn't been maybe as on point as it usually is.
Speaking of point, Dexter for three.
She's had such good play in the last 3 games. She is on point.
Weddle drives to her left, scoop under, and Kendall Weddle on the board as CU goes up 4-3. Taking Weddle to the hole, Sundell off the glass, grabs a board and in.
Ooh, great help by Jade Masogayo.
And a match on the other end and a miss.
Ooh, both teams just a little kind of this frantic pace, firing early and often.
And it connects for Sundell. Inside, tries to get that long body through. Can't get it near the hoop. Good defense by the Wildcats.
Yeah, excellent help side by K-State. Nothing but purple jerseys. No opportunity for Duke. She had to make something work.
Another three-point attempt and another make for the Wildcats. Kind of gotten a back and forth 3 game there the first 5 minutes. A lot of threes taken. CU doesn't have one made yet. 3 for 8 for Kansas State from beyond the arc. There's a missing inside. There'll be an opportunity here for the Wildcats to build on their 11-4 lead. Sides inside to Sundell. Nice pass back. Too hard off the rim, but the offensive board and put back good for Kennedy Taylor.
So pretty, and of course, a familiar face for Buff fans. Kennedy Taylor spent a season here. Coach Sharon Payne and Kennedy sharing a little bit of a hug pregame during the announcements.
Do with the turn to make.
I love the inside game. I love seeing you looking for that inside option.
13-6. And that just seemed too easy on the inside for Kennedy Taylor.
As I say, your career scoring and rebounding leader for Kansas State, and she has battled with some injuries. So considering that, like what she's able to do and how efficient she's able to be is a
nice feed from Frida Foreman. Sides back up top. Kansas State being patient. This time down. Saw a steady pace, and now that shot clock dwindling. 3 in the whistle. That's unfortunate.
Again, AJ's been one of those presences this season. She comes off the bench. She usually kind of gives that instant boost. Gives that big presence inside. She's been a nice addition to that bench rotation. Again, that's the kind of discipline. Terrence Sides knew that shot clock was winding down. Just needed to press a bit.
And that's going to go off the Buffs. So
that's the kind of stuff that it's going to drive some coaching crazy a little bit. Got to box out that shooter.
Sundell takes Foreman, kicks back out. Walker turns it over. He's a cutting Poindexter, and the ball landed right in the hands of Sarah Rose Smith. Rita Foreman goes baseline, draws the foul off Sundell.
Apply the pressure. They've got those kind of so much length out front.
Tedder with the dump off. Nice look, good find, and great connection as Masogayo gets the points.
Great take and a great finish by Jade, ready for that pass.
Buffs trail by 6 here, 5 seconds to go in the quarter, and that's going to be a turnover.
Kind of throwing them into some of these decisions, but look at this drive to there. Realizes, okay, I got Jade. What a nice delivery. Good take.
And Tedder at the buzzer that's just short.
So disciplined and so strategic with their effort. Of course, they're beating teams by a margin of about more than 30 points a game. They are on point.
Buffs get the ball to begin the second quarter here, and a nice drive and finish for Vierzone.
As I say, that's what Lior can do so well. She can crush you from the outside with her three-point, but she has that ability to get big and use her body on a drive, get inside as well.
Buffs have spread around the scoring. No one more than 2 points to total their 12. Sundell has 5 to lead the Wildcats. And Sanchez looking inside, and the ball is going to go out of bounds off Kennedy Taylor. The Buffs have to do the same thing, shooting just 29% from the floor. 6 for 21. Sarah Rose Smith on the drive. She kicks it back up top to Tedder. It's going to go off Sarah Rose Smith's hands before she recollects. 6 on the shot clock here. Smith will set the pick for Tedder through the lane. One more pass and make just before the shot clock expires on that end. Nice. Masogayo for 4.
It's a nice touch by Jade to finish. Buffs getting a couple stops here. Pulling within 2.
Yep, trailing by 2 here, and that's going to go off the Buffs. Another turnover for the Wildcats. Make it 9 in the contest.
That's so uncharacteristic. But that is what CU does so well. Just is a little bit kind of nitpicky, just draws some of those poor decisions, gets their hands on a lot of those passes, just disruptive.
Yeah, Buffs able to score more than half of their points off those turnovers. 8 of the 14 coming that way. Masogayo.
So yes, they definitely enjoy and would prefer to meet K-State at home for sure early in the season.
Make sure you saw that number of assists. Their assists way up at home versus the road. When you're sharing the basketball, it feels like that continuity and togetherness is there. And their former teammate in Kennedy Taylor taking it to the hoop. That's 6 for her to lead all Wildcats.
And Taryn Sides, just a heads-up play with that steal and quick bucket. Good effort. Again, lazy pass from CU.
Now it's 2016. Up by 4 for the visitors. Under the hoop, 3-point range. Missing for Masogayo.
How about Kennedy Taylor?
Excuse me, do.
Yeah.
You do. We'll grab another turnover. That's been the Wildcats' bugaboo. 10 now for Kansas State.
And again, they are 15th in the country, right? They only average about 12. Usually so disciplined.
Foreman just attacking the hoop, using the glass. She has 4.
Again, just a smart finish. Kind of leans away, makes the contact, but gives the ball a chance to get in, uses that backboard.
Poindexter for 3, got it.
Yes, too easy. Cross court, good look by K-State. Again, you can't trade 2 for 3s. That doesn't end well.
2 3-pointers for Tamira Poindexter today. What a driving to her left, last minute dish and bucket by Masogayo.
Great finish. Kendall just kind of leans in. A little bit of body contact there, but gets the ball off, and a great no call by the refs as well on that physical.
Poindexter goes for 3 again. Why not?
I tell you what, she's one of those players when she gets hot, as Coach Brady likes to say, she is tough to cool down. We're seeing a little bit of that right now.
Kansas State back up by 6. Masogayo trying to answer, and there's the whistle. Ooh, she hits the deck. Of course, the assist leader in the Big 12. Averages 7.5 a game.
And what a player for K-State. One of those leaders, too.
Needs 25 more assists to move into the top 10 of Big 12 history. That's pretty impressive when you talk about being a selfless player. The make for Masogayo gives her 9.
It's also validation of what K-State has been able to build, right? With some continuity and consistency with their players in this era of the transfer portal.
Just 100 more to go to get to the top there.
Exactly.
Sides to Glenn. 3 from the corner, a miss. A fight for the ball. It'll end up with the Buffs. That's what Kendall Wetta does such a good job with. It's not always going to show up in the stat sheet, but her hands all over the ball. Foreman for 3. Oh, feed to to Glenn, too far. 5 in the shot clock. Lester turns and shoots, and another offensive board.
To say, just at work there, Frida was a little late.
Ooh, Sides hustling for her own rebound, but Foreman beating her there. In transition, a Foreman three, nothing but net for number 3.
Another one of those players, when Frida gets going, she's another one that's hard to slow down. That was a nice closeout by Poindexter. Frida had it the whole time.
A 7-0 run for CU. They're up by 1, 27-26. Under 4 to go here before the half. Turn and shoot, and gets the nice roll for Sundell. She has 7.
And just a nice answer from Serena. Slows it down, goes methodical, knows she's got Kendall Wetta on the heights. Takes her down low. Nice, easy move.
Buffs a perfect 4 for 4. Their last 4 possessions. Can they make it? 5 they do. The scoop up and in by Garzo. Using it to trade leads here. Currently down by 1. Sundell inside, missing.
Say, such a nice play. Just can't get it to drop.
Here come the Buffs.
Ooh, thought she was
Zone has space there. Fires the 3. And it'll stay with CU. What a hustle for Tabitha Betson. And Tedder wide open to the lane.
And that's what she can do so well. Glenn just caught a little bit flat-footed, and Joanna just turns the corner on her.
Buffs up by 3. Under 2 here in the second quarter. Sanchez 4-3 and an air ball. Wetta drives in and draws the foul. 5 total fouls in the game for Kansas State compared to 2 for CU, and a made free throw.
Such a smart defender. When they get those stops, or they start kind of forcing them into some of these decisions, motivates them for sure.
Glenn drives baseline, and they're going to call a charge on Jalen Glenn, so she's on the bench. Under a minute here to the half. Buffs up by 5. You mentioned it, that tenacious defense. It really gives them motivation on the offensive end. Capitalize with the turnovers big time, trying to do it again. Inside, Betson kissing it off the glass.
Just a good look and do. Just taking her time. Could have taken that shot, but again, makes the extra pass, looks for that assist. Again, we talked about how well CU looks for each other when they're at home. Their assists are higher at home for sure for a reason. It was a wonderful pass.
Crowd on their feet here at the CU Event Center. An 8-0 run for the Buffs. It's been a scoring drought for the Wildcats. Trying to get something on the board here as the clock winds down. Walker with the offensive board. 10 seconds to go. A 3-point attempt and makes it for Walker. Her first points of the game. And a big one to stop that Buffs momentum. What a throwing one up and nowhere near the hoop, but
CU has just been able to be so prolific and so efficient on offense, especially again in that second quarter.
Jeff Mitty looking on, ready for his Wildcats to respond here on the road. And early, it's CU and Jade Masogayo. She now has double figures with 11.
I'll say, okay, Jade. I like the presence of just starting this third quarter. Like, as I mentioned, we're going to keep our foot on that pedal.
Yeah.
Straight to the basket.
Up to 6. And the Wildcats answered. They got the 3-game going early. Again, if you're just joining us, they're missing the big-time presence of Lee on the inside, but Walker with the J. She has 5.
I'll say we saw Walker just before half nail a big-time 3. She's one of those players, a little competitive, a little spicy. She's ready to get into this.
That 3 was her first points of the game. She averages about 8.5 and sitting at the 5 mark now. That ball out of bounds. And you talk about the force and presence. Last year she had a double-double against the CU Buffs in that NCAA game, but they are missing her big time. They've had to play a couple games without her this season for a variety of reasons. And really, Cammie, when you look at her career, it's been full of injuries that the Wildcats have had to overcome, so this is nothing new. Tedder, wow! Sundell back up top. Sides with the dribble. Shot clock at 2. Sides is going to have to get it off. She doesn't see that shot clock, and it's a violation.
That's what I'm saying. Excellent awareness. Of course, Frida Foreman understands it just as well.
Now Masogayo's turn to go up against Taylor under the basket. She gets stripped. Good defense by Taylor matching.
Yeah, not a lot of room to go there. Had to get creative.
Sundell off the glass. Serena Sundell now has 9 to lead Kansas State.
Again, she's just so solid. Kind of one of those calm under pressure. Gets the easy bucket.
Wildcats trail by 5. What off the dribble, and she makes it.
I tell you what, Buffs just unbelievable from the field right now, shooting about 50%. Again, against a team that holds, the top-ranked defense, holding teams to about 32% from the field. Amazing effort by CU.
And Taylor answering on the other end. It keeps it a 5-point game. They average about 12.4 per contest. And you think about how much basketball is left. And taking care of it was probably a big message there. Stuffed is Masogayo.
I say Walker going to work in post defense. Great help side by Walker against Colorado. They've always had the number.
Of course, 33 years coaching women's college basketball for Jeff Mittie. 0-4 over the course of that whole time. He's only lost once to the Buffs as the Wildcats head coach, and we all know when that happened last year in the NCAA tournament. Now conference rivals once again here in the Big 12. Sundell missing off the glass, and Kinaweta coming up with it for the Buffs. She'll push it to the other end.
Ooh, pretty.
A nice cut and connecting.
But just catches Kansas State a little lagging in defense and executes perfectly.
Taylor with a handoff to side. She cuts the lane right back to Taylor. And a nice back and forth for the Wildcats.
As I say, speaking of, just a nice awareness by Sides, and Taylor ready for the easy bucket.
And there's a steal by Walker. No one around her, and an easy lay-in as the Wildcats start charging back.
Good. Well, again. And then CU just...
They've turned the ball over 12 times, and the Buffs have capitalized with 14 points off turnovers. Definitely a key in this game as the Buffs are up by 3. Sundell to the hoop, and now they trail by 1.
A couple moments of kind of uncharacteristic chaos.
These feel like moments for J.R. Payne where she's trying to figure out who she can trust, and it might be that one. Wildcats passing the perimeter. 8 on the shot clock. Sides kicks it out. Walker for 3, in and out.
Again, a good look by Walker. Just can't get it to drop.
20th attempt from three-point land for Kansas State. There's 6 of those 20. Inside to do, and a perfect pass.
There's a rebound to be found. Sarah Smith is usually around it.
Sundell found her lane. She throws the ball up. And protecting it is Lior Garzone as she comes down with it. 8 seconds here.
I'm saying 0 for 4. K-State just has not been able to find the bucket. Over 2.5 minutes, no score.
Joanna Tedder gets it swatted away by Kennedy Taylor there at the buzzer. Yeah, get a little rest as they start the fourth quarter here. Gonna absolutely need her down the stretch, no doubt about it. And Jalen Glenn trying to make a statement to start the fourth quarter, leaves it short, but another offensive board for the Wildcats, and a potential turnover goes out of bounds for Sarah Rose Smith. Wildcats will reset here with 14 on the shot clock.
I'm saying Jalen Glenn scoreless right now in this game. She usually gives the Wildcats about 10 points. Again, another one of those CU defensive efforts that's made a difference.
Well, Sundell, who just shot over the rim there, that's been leading things, shot blocked. As Kennedy Taylor runs into the CU defense, and now, of course, the Buffs missing a player of their own in Kennedy Sanders, dealing with a foot injury. So that bench a little bit shorter for J.R. Payne. That's in. Knocks it down.
Look at that. Just cool and calm. Looks for all her options, but ultimately, what a nice jumper.
Preseason Big 12 freshman of the year. putting on a show. So is Sundell on the other end. She's up to 13. Starters getting that rest for CU. They'll run the load, I'm assuming, for the majority of minutes. Sans Sarah Rose Smith, who's in the contest here the fourth quarter. Under 8 to go. Saw Jeff Mitty yelling from the sidelines for Taylor to clear it out there.
Yeah, battles have been tough for CU, especially on the road. Again, now we see Frida on Sundell trying to shut that down.
Knocking down a 3 for Jalen Glenn. CU up by 3. What a driving. Trying to kick it outside and ends up throwing it away. So that just came off of making a 3-pointer. See if her points can factor into a game.
Again, so hard to get in that flow when you're working through that foul trouble.
Ooh, oh, what a hustle there by Poindexter. Doesn't give up on the play. Sundell leaves the 3 short, and now the Buffs will indeed gather the basketball.
A little bit of chaos there.
Goes to her left on Sundell and gets right in there off the glass. Frida Foreman with her first points here in the second half. She has 12.
I would say good straight-up defense by Sundell, but credit Frida again for being tactical, finding a way to get it done.
There's Glenn answering back. Another 3 for her and 6 quick points here in the fourth quarter. It's a 2-point game.
Again, we mentioned she's just out of her flow, was held scoreless, is now finding a way to deliver.
See if the Buffs have an answer on their end. Masogayo hands off to Du. She dribbles towards the baseline and finds an open spot. Walker had an open lane through the key. It gets swatted away. Masogayo and that massive extension.
What a block by Jade on that defensive effort. Good take.
Oliver with a nice feed to Foreman. She draws the foul.
A great take by Walker, but Jade comes in for the help and the block. What a play.
It's like go-go gadget arms up there.
I tell you what. Yes, and if you were Walker, you're like, great, this is free and clear. Again, Frida does such a good job getting to that ball, making sure it's not a turnover, and then drawing that whistle by going up strong, getting herself to the line.
Just the 5th free throw attempt for the Buffs here today. 4 for 5 at the line as a team. Make it 14 points for Frida Foreman.
Again, Frida Foreman playing, again, 2 fouls, but you want to keep her fresh. You want to keep her on the floor, especially when that defensive assignment with Sundell, you've got to rotate that in early and often.
I feel like you look at the last 2 series for the Buffs, too. She was beat up a bit around every play. Taylor grabbing the board, and another swat for Masogayo.
Just dominant. Taylor frustrated as she gets off the floor as the crowd gets into this here.
Header with the long pass. Why not feed the beast? She's gotten the work done on the offensive end, but she dishes it off to Weta as Masogayo lets the ball go on their end.
Yeah, just a little clunky, a little clogged up in that lane.
Sundell inside to Taylor, wide open.
To say a really good look by Sundell. Jade chose to front the post, and Kennedy Taylor was ready and waiting with no help side defense for the Buffs.
12 points for the former Buff, now Wildcat, and Kennedy Taylor. And there's an answer on the Buffs end. Walker will bring the ball up. And that's his hands who want it in. Sundell gets stuffed once again. What a huge defensive effort today by Masogayo.
I tell you what, Jade came to play. Jade Masogayo, how about it? 20 blocks coming into this game on the season, and she has been dominant in this second half.
CU just playing hot potato with the basketball, working through the defense. Masogayo with the offensive board, and the crowd cheering with 25 seconds to go in the game. They smell victory. Garzone with the exclamation point.
That'll do it.
A 10-point lead for the Buffs. Kansas State wants to call a timeout here. But it was a second quarter of shooting lights out. Almost 77% from the floor for the Buffs. And then this whole second half, we have seen that defensive spark. And it has run right through Masogayo and her 4 blocks.
Unbelievable effort by Jade in the second half.
And a big-time victory.